Yes, sir. Hey!
Alright guys, so we're down here in Westlake Village. Just started our road trip yesterday afternoon. Last night we got into town and there was still like an hour of sunlight left, so we actually took a ride at the Sapwi Bike Park, which is pretty cool. Right? Yeah. And so today we just got up and we're gonna get ready, head back to the park. Well, actually first we gotta go get a chain fixed for the S-Snap because that snapped like first 5 minutes of yesterday. So we're gonna take care of that and then head back to Sapwi Park. And we're gonna show you guys, I guess, some clips of us riding, and show you the jumps and stuff. It's a really cool spot. Really liked it.
Yeah, it's all the takeoff ramps are wood, which is kind of makes it a little more consistent sometimes.
It's different though because they kind of pop you up. Like I'm not used to it because I'm just getting started. But like compared to Harvey West, you know, it's like it just feels different. They kind of these wooden ramps give you like this pop as you go off of them.
Yeah, it's a little more of a kick. He's right about that. But you know, Dylan, I mean, I think he rode Polo Ground once and 3 times at Harvey West or something like that, and that's his whole career. So this is, you know, he's getting used to going from place to place,
yeah,
and adapting it. But this is where he gets better, and which he already has done the midline, and which is cool. So he's getting used to it
on the back quad too.
Yeah, we're riding. Well, we were trying to get the S&M and the Haro RS 130 jumper down there, and that's kind of my go-to bike for dirt jumps. But he decided to bring that big bike, and so he took my bike. And I'm like, yeah, I'll try it. And man, that thing was faster than my Haro.
Yeah, it gets going.
Right, because the big tires, you know, and it was a little soft at the bottom when it jumps. And so we're going to lower the seat today and just see what it's capable of doing. And so I don't think I'm going to ride my bike there, my Buff SE, because I don't want to get it all dirty. I like riding ground on that thing and doing wheelies and cruising on it. And Dylan's bike is it's good.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun on that. Yeah, I guess I'll let you do that.
You said you wanted me to own this.
Oh, I do. I'm just saying, I guess I'll let you thrash my bike.
I won't thrash your bike.
No, if anything, it'll be me that thrashes it today. But yesterday was cool because on the drive down, we stopped in Carpinteria to see some of our family, which was really nice. It's been like a year, I think, since we saw them last. And then came down here to ride. I think today we're going to see how it goes. Once we're done riding, we might be heading down to see Dana Duke later today, depending on how everything goes. But if not, then we're just going to head down tomorrow morning, I believe. Right?
And the slim possibility that Mike Buff will show up in Palm Springs.
Yeah.
But he just went back to work and also spent a bunch of time with his daughter in Utah.
Yeah,
riding e-bikes, and he said he was sore than crap. But he was going like 18 miles a day, but it's over rocks and stuff, and he's got to move that bike around. And I think his daughter probably has a lot more energy than him, and he's paying for it now.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll make it, but if he doesn't, we're going to hook up with him again in the near future.
Yep. And we'll hit some different spots around these places too, like skate parks and whatnot. Yeah, for today, pretty much the agenda is get the bike fixed and then go to Sapwi. So I guess we'll see you guys once we're at Sapwi. Oh, and yesterday was really cool. We were driving through Carpinteria and we saw like a group of like 5 kids riding around, and they were all on SC bikes, and one of them was actually on the Mike Buff Fat Ripper, which was cool. We're starting to see them everywhere now.
Yeah, that was weird. Where was that?
Carpinteria, like downtown.
Yeah. It was like, I mean, it was like a Mike Buff bike right there.
Yeah.
You saw a Mike Buff bike on the ride. It's a trend, man. Those things are everywhere.
Yeah. SC is definitely taking over for that scene.
Yeah. He is the worst conversation in my God. I gotta tell you guys this. He just All he wants to do is stare at that freaking phone. And his answer's like, yeah. Which is when he's not listening to me. That's what he said. But
I wonder where I got that from.
I'm listening. What are you talking about? No, he's all right. We're like an hour into the trip, and he's like, man, how much longer is this going to take?
He's going 40 on the highway. We've got the semis and the ag trucks flying by us. Yeah, and we took probably 10 stops for him to go to the bathroom on the way down. So
he went every time I went.
That kind of changes it.
You guys should try this. 55 to 60, get in the slow lane. Man, the whole world just slows down. Nothing flies out in front of you. Nobody's honking at you. It's really peaceful. You can see stuff. I don't know. It's good.
That felt squirrely.
I can't see, all I see is a figure. Okay, hey everybody. So I want to introduce you to Neeve. Say hi.
What's up,
This is
guys?
casual. You say whatever you want.
Sure.
So I've run a few different dirt places, and I've never really. I mean, I've talked to some guys that are really good, but the advice just never came through my head. And Neeve just said a couple simple things. I'm gonna let him tell you, but man, it changed. It changed the way I was riding within like 2 minutes. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep going in that direction. So I'll have Neeve. You want to tell him like some of the advice
Sure.
you're telling me?
Yeah, sure. So I'm not really good at riding, but I'm good at giving advice.
He is good at riding. He's doing the expert line.
Yeah, you were clearing
Yeah,
them,
he's
dude.
doing really good. So
What I noticed, a lot of guys like myself who grew up on mountain bikes, dirt bikes, all those things, we all have a tendency to want to jump far.
Yeah.
Distance. You know, we all had little plywood ramps on cinder blocks, and that's how we learned to ride.
yeah,
And moving over to dirt jumps, you have to learn to really use the arch more. Like you see the pros doing, go up, come down.
Yeah.
right.
So what I noticed you were doing was taking these ramps that are a sharp angle and trying to cut across this way.
Yeah,
And what you did really well is you started to pull up with your arms as you were coming off of the jump, kind of doing almost like an ollie on a skateboard. And then up from here, using this pivot point to decide where and how you're going to land. When you push your arms forward, you gain 1 foot, and you can push forward and down, or forward and across, and land on the back wheel to save it, like you did.
So can I interrupt you a second?
Yeah.
So what I was doing, I was just trying to figure it out. I would lean, just like hump the bars kind of, and put my body forward because I figured that would make the front end go down. And then he's like, no, just push your arms back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what, really? And I did, man. And it just like, it balanced everything out. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, the arms just give you so much room for play with the bike, and it can save you. If you're coming up too short, you gain that 1 foot. If you're gonna go way too far, you've seen a lot of like the BMX guys like straighten out their legs and their body, and that's to push the bike down. So your trajectory is to land down and not far.
Yeah.
So if you're like, look like you're going a little bit far, they stretch your legs out to get that landing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think so. That's just from watching.
Never even crossed my mind, and it makes sense.
Yeah.
I just hang on and go, well, it's gonna be flat ball. And then I'm like, oh, move your leg.
Yeah, it's always kind of like either we're casing it or we're going too far and
Yeah.
landing in the flat. So that's really the trick to getting the sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's not so much your speed, but when you're in the air at that highest point, deciding where are you going to put the bike.
You know, something else I noticed when you were telling me all this on this middle line, you were like barely moving. You were like, just like, I was going, man, there's no way he's gonna make that. And you just did that arc, and it was so smooth, and you were going so slow. Same on that line over there. I'm going, he ain't gonna make it. And so the slow thing is really,
Yeah, I practice that.
Yeah.
I try to go as slow as possible on purpose.
Wow.
but you know, like you said, from old school, we're going through the jump. We just want to make it to the other side. It's nothing. It was about pedaling your ass off, you know. Now it's like go slower, and higher.
Technique. It's
Yeah.
all in the technique.
That was so weird, but it worked.
Yeah.
It really worked. I mean, you got to kind of figure, but
Yeah, I'm sure for guys who are doing much bigger jumps, much higher speed, I'm sure that it's a totally different technique.
Yeah.
But for your regular dirt jumps, you know, like waist high to shoulder high, it works well.
yeah, I mean, these are decent sized jumps. I mean, I'm not going to say this is like, I'm not nervous about riding that big line. But yeah, it's just kind of, you just, it's like a little more speed maybe. You got to kind of figure out how that gathers, but the idea of what you were saying, starting slow and figuring out how to move your bike and your body to get over the jump instead of using speed and doing it on small jumps.
Right.
That's, man, you said some really important things that helped me so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. That's why we're all here to have a good time,
Thanks,
man.
brother. Appreciate
Cool. Thanks for the interview.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we're gonna be on the intermediate line here, and I'll show you how most people who are learning hit the jumps, and then we'll do second round a little more slow and control.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna see the technique in action. So that's the just going through it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one we're gonna do nice and slow and controlled.
Okay. All right, so that's his example of how most people are learning, just going through the jump. Now he's gonna show us the slow technique of trying to get up and over it. You can really see the difference.
Big time.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I'm really focusing on the landing. I want to be knees bent, arms bent, full control for the next jump.
Yeah, and you can see too when you go slower, you're getting like way higher up too.
Man, we've met so many interesting people. I put it on Facebook, part of it. This one guy was a surfer in San Diego.
Yeah.
But he was a diver when Robbie Madison was surfing his motocross bike at Chopu.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen that, check out Robbie Madison surfing Chopu on a motorcycle.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That guy is unbelievable. But anyways, this guy was out there when he was doing it, and he's one of the divers. I don't know what he was. Maybe a Robbie with him or something.
I think he was filming it.
Oh,
You know, because they have like scuba divers or just like divers out there who just like wade around in the waves, like where they break, so they can get like the perfect shot. But it's like they gotta obviously know what they're doing, so they don't get sucked over onto the reef when the wave goes over them. You know.
right.
So it's pretty interesting to hear about that.
And I was talking to this other guy, and he's like, I think he said he's 45, and he was friends with a surfer guy, and when he would ride, the surfer guy would go, man, he was talking about his friend going, he's so addicted to these bikes.
Yeah.
I don't think the surfer guy got it, you know, but he surfs, man, he's into that, you know. I was talking to the guy who was 45, his friend or whatever, and he was saying, man, he goes, when you're dirt jumping and you just hit that down, you know, the other side of the jump, and that dropping down and hitting that just right with the nose down. He goes, it's so addicting, you know. And I mean, that's exactly what keeps bringing me back, is that landing really nice and feeling that smooth and dropping from the air. It's you just get hooked, you know.
Even just the feeling like clearing the jump feels good if you don't like case it or whatever, or like hang up on the downward part, you know.
Yeah. Then this guy showed up on an e-bike, big, heavy, fat, 29-inch.
It was specialized, right?
I don't know.
I think it was specialized.
And this one guy sitting next to me goes, check this guy out, man, you won't believe this. So he's sitting down, rolls over the jump, boom, he's on the big line, right? And he's just floating, I mean, man, total style. The style is a little bit slower because it's a heavy bike, but
He could really manipulate the bike in the air too.
Yeah.
Like he really moved it around.
and he would sit down before the jumps. That was so, on the biggest line there, you know, usually you're pumping your ass off.
Well, he's got that power for him, going for him.
Yeah, but I guess this other kid was talking about riding his dad's bike. He goes, oh, I was going up a hill at 30 miles an hour throwing a rooster tail.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I thought there was a limit of 30 miles an hour. And the e-bike I rode, which was 2 years ago, when you let off the e-bike part of it, or you stop pedaling, it kind of slows down, you know?
We said this one, his had a throttle
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. And then another kid pulled up that was like 3, and he had like a 12-inch wheels on his little tiny bike, and it was an e-bike, and that thing moved.
Oh yeah, and he
Remember
was
that?
going over like the intermediate line too. Like he was doing the big jumps.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
On a little tiny, man, I swear, every time we go out, we learn and meet so many cool people that just kind of are on the same page, you know. And
Yeah.
this other guy told me that Colby Raha rode at Sapwi. If you check out Colby Raha, guy is unbelievable on a motocross bike. Huge doubles, all the tricks. Check him out at Pastrana. Nitro Games. And Colby and these other guys ride a quarter pipe on a motorcycle.
Nitro Circus.
Nitro Circus
Yeah.
Games, though. It's
Oh, okay.
So it's like
We gotta go to one of those shows. Those look really fun.
anyways, Colby, I saw him do 46 feet of air on a 40-foot ramp, or 30-foot ramp, I don't even know, but, and upside down, cans, this guy's got such good style and skills, but he did the big line at Sapwi on a BMX bike, and I thought, man,
Crazy.
to go from big motorcycle to a BMX bike and go to the big line, that's kind of impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing I thought was really cool, I was kind of jealous of, was like a lot of the kids riding there were like high school age, and they're all talking, and basically, since they're doing their school online because of the pandemic or whatever, they just get to go to class for an hour or two, and in between classes they come ride a few laps at the park, then they go back home, do their class, come right back. So it's like, they're lucky as hell to be able to do that.
Yeah, and moms bring their kids out,
Yeah.
you know, and I rode with this other guy that was a professional motorcycle motocross racer who, he's 30 now, he still rides pro, it's like vet pro, 30 and over, but he used to ride on the main circuit with all the big time pros, outdoors, traveling, supercross, the whole deal, and was a really good rider, but his style, couldn't quite figure it out. It was really smooth, and he was doing big jumps, and I'm like, man, there's something different about this guy. And then when he told me he was a pro motocross rider, I'm like, okay, it's a motorcycle style, I get it. But he was really cool.
Yeah, for me personally, I wish there were more parks like this around, because I think it gets kids and adults outside being active. And these days it just seems like, at least where we live in Monterey, it's like kids are just used to just being inside on their devices all the time. That's just like how it is. And I think it doesn't even have to be bike jumps or whatever, but just like more parks, rec areas, outdoor spots. I think that's what we need for our communities. Especially like where we live, Laguna Seca, they have so many good open like dirt spots that would just be perfect for a bike park like that.
Crash.
Yeah, I had a crash yesterday. I had two crashes. The first crash was just a minor one. It was just like I went through a dusty part and slid out, scraped my arm a little bit. But then, of course, last lap of the day, on the very last jump of that last lap, I went off, and I just kept, because of the wood ramps and just because I'm new to this, it's like the front end pops up really easy for me, and I'm trying to learn how to control that and push it back down. And on this last one, I just didn't do it right, and when I landed on the downward part of the jump, only on my back wheel, and then just went over the back end, slammed on my back. It hurt pretty bad. I got up, I thought, I'd be able to walk it off, and then I sat down and started throwing up, so that was interesting.
Yeah, I saw him. I didn't see him crash, but I saw him get up. And, I always watch for the speed of his hands when he's dusting himself off. If it's slow, it's a problem. If he's like, I'm good. And he looked pretty good. So I turned back around, and then I looked at him again, and he'd only walked about a foot. And I thought, I better get over there. Yeah. And and then he started throwing up. His eyes were dilated.
The opposite dilated. They were really small.
Dilated was big.
Yeah.
Okay, so they were pinned.
They were really small.
They were small, and when he started throwing up, now this is the weirdest thing. I'm looking for bumps on his head. I'm looking for scratches on his body, like impact areas. I'm checking his helmet, and there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and
there was no pain in my head. It was all in my lower back and my ass. That was pretty much it.
But yeah, when he got out of the shower, he said his butt was pretty beat up. So that's where it happened.
Yeah.
But, and I'm thinking, that's it, man. Well, I knew for sure we're going back to the hotel, we're going to eat, and he's going to relax, right? And there's no way he's going to sit in the van, going up to Duke, because he only made it an hour out of Monterey, and he was complaining about the seats in my van. So he gets up this morning, he's like, yeah, no, I want to go. And I'm like,
can't bail on the Duker.
I mean, I want to go. I'd rather go ride some places. And then he goes, hey, this is what he says to me this morning. You want to go ride Sapwi again? And he goes, wait, no, let me finish. And he goes, we'll shoot pictures of you. And I'm like, yeah, right. About 5 minutes later, he goes, I'll probably ride a little bit, just take it easy, which will be, that'll go from, I'm going to go to a bigger line and try to put her the jumps.
No way.
Anyways, these young kids, they have no common sense, it's like, no, you gotta heal, man. You don't want to double up on your injuries, especially when you got a concussion.
Well, it's like for me, it's like I spent so much time inside just being online and stuff, and now I'm getting into this. It's like I just would rather be outside doing something physical than just sitting around watching something on YouTube, So it's addicting for sure. And it's not like last time when I crashed, it was like a month before I could ride again, and that sucked. So it's like, I just kind of, I don't know.
He was beat. When we got to the hotel, all the adrenaline had worn off, and so now he's really feeling it. I mean, he could not get off the bed. Literally could not get off the bed. I was bringing him everything, and he could not get off the bed, and I was thinking, I didn't know what to think, but anyway.
Yeah, so I guess our plan for today is we're going to get some breakfast.
Okay. Is that all right?
No, it's not all right.
Can I interrupt you? So, met some cool people. Okay, so the first night we got here, I rode Dylan's back quad.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought just for the hell of it, and it was stable, smooth, and it's like your nerves just go away because the bike just feels like it'll do anything, right? So I'm thinking, all right, it's the second day, I'm going to lower the seat. Let's see what this thing could do, right? And I did the advanced line. That's one down from the expert. And was hitting some pretty good jumps on it, and it was just handling it. It was smooth. The gyration of the wheel was like major. You can move the bike around a little bit, And I'm just like, how could this be happening? I thought I was hooked on my Haro forever. Now this thing's coming in. And then I did the first jump on the big line, and I almost flat bottomed. I went too far. So this thing carries speed like crazy. So
It's a nice jumper. I like it.
I'm really messed up because I don't know. I thought my 20-inch was going to be good. Then I've always been in love with my Haro. And now this thing, I'm trying to get one bike for ground, one bike for jumping, you know, one bike for whatever. And they all work for everything, you know. And that's, I think my plan's got to be adjusted. Now the e-bike. Saw that guy jumping that e-bike. Now I got to throw that in there.
Okay. So yeah, I guess our plan now is we're gonna get some breakfast. Maybe head to Sapwi to ride, and then we're probably gonna head down to Buttes and do some riding down there.